Boys, not his real name, a taxi driver at Tech Junction, sits in his car unperturbed about the ongoing COVID-19 vaccination exercise. The 32-year-old driver is unwilling to take the COVID jab.
I haven't taken my jab because I am not sick. I think you only take the jab when you are sick. I am not sick, so I don't see why I should get vaccinated.
He believes the virus does not exist.
I don't know what COVID-19 is. I don't believe it exists, so I'm not going to take the jab.
Other commercial drivers are skeptical of the COVID-19 vaccine due to conspiracy theories that were made up. Most of them are yet to decide whether to take the vaccine or not.
To me, no, they na say slow me home kakra, na say me slow kakra. But actually, no, me home say slow bia.
Originally, I was scared, but later I realized it has no extreme effect.
A problematic line of thought, and the global vaccination drive has been challenging. This has been due to the reluctance or flat refusal of some people to be vaccinated, thereby making it difficult to achieve widespread immunity against infectious diseases, to achieve herd immunity. Now, against this background, the African Media and Malaria Research Network is partnering the World Health Organization and other stakeholders to run a media engagement project for increasing the uptake of vaccines, including the COVID-19 vaccines, that is the Media for Vaccine project, across Ghana, and curbing the wrong information around the vaccines. Well, today's discussion is about the reported low patronage of the COVID-19 vaccine and the disturbing trend known as vaccine hesitancy. Joining me in the studio this morning, I have Dr. Gloria Chandi. She is a former director of health for Ghana West. She joins me in the studio. Dr. Chandi, good morning.
Good morning.
It's really good to have you. I think the last time you joined me for a conversation, we were talking about some of these things. And here we are again, still talking about vaccine hesitancy. But let's start from the start. How bad is it?
Vaccine hesitancy is one issue. If you're not very careful, it will run everything, every gains we've made down. Because vaccines are not what we should fear, because they are biological substances that have been prepared to fight against specific diseases. So if people refuse and then only parts are immunized and then the larger majority is not immunized, everything that has been done, goes back to square zero.
We are all still at risk because of that.
Sure.
And in our case, I would ask, what then are the benefits of immunization? Because that is part of where the problem starts. You heard that driver say, I am not sick, and it is only for those who are sick. But the rationale is very different. So what are the benefits of immunization?
Well, when we immunize against a particular disease, it protects us from becoming severely sick. Right. It also protects you from not even getting. Some people will not even get it at all. Others who might get it will not have the severest form. And then it saves you the cost of hospitalization, the time, the energy, and everything. And it protects the whole community or the whole nation. It covers everybody. Should we get more than 70% of the people getting immunized, precisely around 90%.
And I've mentioned immunization because we are not just looking at adults, we are also considering children. And there's a stark story in there. You were telling me just a short while ago. How bad is it for children? I mean, you would look at polio, you would look at rubella, measles, and the rest. What is the state of affairs in that sector?
Well, we are having hesitancy in childhood immunizations too. But I can clearly remember that, when I was a student nurse, I saw measles, children maimed from measles, children becoming deaf, children becoming blind from measles. Now you don't even see children who have measles because of immunization. Look at polio. In my time, I remember a neighbor had polio when we were children. That neighbor cannot walk well now forever. But now, there's no polio around anymore. You understand?
I think some years back, we was there eradication or something?
Eradication,
right.
yeah. It's all because of this immunization. So if we will just turn back and say that immunization is dangerous, so we won't immunize our children, where are we going to?
But there was a point too where there was a shortage of vaccines momentarily and all of that. Recently, the WHO also spoke about some of these where even until we use some of the others, new stock will not come in. But what vaccines are currently available?
Now we have all vaccines.
All vaccines?
All vaccines are available.
Okay.
There's no shortage now.
Okay, so for the children, we have all of them?
Yeah.
And then
for COVID-19, we have only J&J, that the Johnson & Johnson, the one touch.
Right.
That's what we have now.
The one you take one shot, and it's a single dose.
All, yeah.
How about malaria?
We have malaria vaccines too.
You know, it's something that most people
nationwide.
Don't know about or are even concerned about. Because they feel, oh, I said malaria day.
The malaria day. You know, malaria also started like COVID. There were times Ghana was serious about malaria. Malaria was always in the headlines. But when it became, routine, we didn't hear of it again. So it's just like COVID. COVID came on top some time ago. It's not that COVID is gone. COVID is still there. But that emergency with it has reduced. So it doesn't mean it's not there. So we have malaria vaccines too, but it's for children. And they take it at 6 months, 7 months, 9 months, and then 18 months.
So 6 months, 9 months.
7 months.
7 months.
9 months, and then 18 months.
I see. But how do communities get to know that maybe in a catchment area, vaccines are available, especially for the children?
Yeah, we announce from the hospitals, the health centers. We go from home to home during home visiting. We go for school health services. We even immunize children right in school. And then community, public places, we are always there. And when there are vaccines available, sometimes on the air, when we visit radio stations and other places, we inform them about availability of vaccines.
I have heard in the past, this just came to mind, sometimes someone will trek, maybe walk with the baby or board a vehicle with the scarce or little sum they have, come to a center for vaccination.
Only to be
There's
told.
a queue, so they are not able to do it, and they go and they don't come back because economically it's too steep for them. Others too, there have been the cases where I hear for the medical personnel, you open a vaccine and maybe you can use it for 2 or 3 or more people. But there's only one person there. So they want to wait till there are about 3 or 4 people. They've been told not to do that, but they are still doing it. So people come, they wait for a long time, it's not happening, they go. How are you addressing those problems?
Yeah, we have public health nurses and community health nurses on the ground. And each facility has their strategy of reaching out to people. Now, we even have notebooks we write parents' telephone numbers in. So when there's vaccine available, we only take the notebook and call those who missed to come. Yeah, we have issues like people living far away. Where they are, nobody goes there. And these are the people we should not miss at all. When they find time to come to us, even if the vaccine is 20 doses and it's that one person, we need to open the vaccine and serve that one person because you don't know what that one person will get and then give back to that community. So we have been advised, yes. A few people look at the economic issues regarding the vaccines, but we didn't buy it with our money. It's government money. Government says that give it out. So I'm encouraging my fellows who think about this, wastage rate and then are tempted to allow people to go. It's a missed opportunity. We shouldn't allow missed opportunities in our work.
And in terms of these communities, what has the uptake been like? Even as we talk about what schemes you're using. I know sometimes you use community leaders, influencers, and all of that. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, we have companies like AMREM and others who also help with media engagements to make more announcements on these vaccines. And then we also have our community information centers. They charge us though, but we work through them to announce our presence when there is any outreach services or if there's any special program. We also have people who have taken it upon themselves as volunteers to announce availability of vaccines or inform people when there are special programs on vaccinations.
Right. Let's talk about innovation. I'm sure you've had to come, even apart from everything you've told me, you're being forced to think outside of the box, how to get people on board. And how are you also collaborating with the Ghana Health Service to drive this initiative?
Yeah. Ghana Health Service is the main body for issuing out the vaccinations. AMREM only comes in to support in terms of finance for maybe outreach, how the vaccines will get to the next community, how we can communicate to people about vaccination. And when it comes to innovations, sometimes we hold community dramas and then we have a derby, and then there are drama or role plays about vaccination. Sometimes too, when there is a funeral or something, we quickly move in to, mount our vaccination post there. We use so many things. And we also work on weekends sometimes.
I see.
We are even planning to institute the weekend, vaccinations. Wow. Because we realize that mothers wake up at dawn. They leave their children and leave instructions. Nobody should vaccinate my child. Nobody should give any immunization. So if you're able to work on weekends, visit houses on weekends, I think we can engage mothers to understand and then have them immunize their children.
Let me ask, from our standpoint, and always with the problems we have to solve, we also look at ourselves. How can the media help? How has the media helped? What more can we do?
You know, media is very powerful. You understand? When it comes to Mother's Day, media hype Mother's Day, so everybody talks about Mother's Day. When it is Father's Day and the media is cold about it, everybody too is cold about it. So if in your interactions, your health sections, you talk about immunizations, you talk about how people have benefited from vaccines, I think this hesitancy will come down. They trust you.
Final words, future plans, what your expectations are. Final words.
So I would say that vaccine hesitancy is something we shouldn't encourage at all. Otherwise, all the gains we've made will come to square one. I fear the lockdown we went through. COVID is not totally gone. So we need to put in all our efforts to ensure that we bring it at bay. We don't have to sleep for COVID to come up again. All of us has a responsibility. You sit in a car, you can talk to the driver about vaccination, because if this driver has COVID, he can give it to everybody in the car. Not COVID alone. The childhood immunizations. We now have children who are healthy because of vaccination. If we should allow hesitancy to come in, and then we go back to where we have polio, whooping cough, and all those diseases, we'll all be affected. So let's be each other's keeper and ensure that this vaccine hesitancy, we drive it out of our midst. In
other words, we are all involved. We should all get on board.
Yes.
I always say this, though. You know, there is that minutiae. Whenever there are vaccines, there's always a very small proportion of someone who may take it and, owing to their own predispositions, have certain. That is what you would usually see when it comes to those with all these conspiracy theories. But I've taken 4 shots of COVID-19 vaccines. AstraZeneca, I think the Johnson & Johnson, and I don't know whether there was a Moderna.
There was a Moderna, there was a Sputnik.
But I've taken the 2 shots, and then I took 2 booster shots. Nothing has happened to me. I go for regular checkups. There's nothing wrong with me. So if you don't take it, you could be compromising your own health. For at least coming here, we're grateful for your time, Dr. Gloria Chandy, former Director of Health, Ghana West. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
We're grateful.
Thanks for having me.
Right. Stay with us. There's still more to come on the AM show. Of course, we're also going to be talking to you about the Joy Impact Makers Awards. It comes off this month. What should you know? We'll be bringing you details of that later on the show. We'll be right back.